welcome to a beautiful almost afternoon out here at the river house. It's not that I have been lazy and starting late. I simply never set up the camera because just how much of the rock cleaning process does anyone really want to see? So today I started by cleaning up these piles from where I did my cutting and jackhammering, and now I've been working my way down the rock face. So I've got all that cleaned up and I'm starting in over here. It gets uglier and uglier as I get farther down because there's nothing flat to shovel from, so it's pretty slow. Tractor is pissing oil today because why wouldn't it? But other than that, we're getting along well. I have to use the pick and break up any of the loose rock and scrape it down the hill. And I'll take that stuff going the other direction. So I basically just take the first 6 inches off the top of the edge and then everything on the slopes, and I drag it down until I can find something that I can kind of shovel off of. It's going slow. The point today was to get up here and cut. I don't think I'll have any time tomorrow. Probably not. If I do, it won't be much. But the point up here was to come and cut. But I even got the water on the rock saw fixed again so that it would work properly. And I don't think I'll get to it. I suspect I'll just end up doing this back here behind me for the rest of the afternoon, and I imagine I'll be pretty wiped out by the time that's done. So my revised goal is to keep going down along this edge, and I'd love to get down at least to the bottom lands there, another 10 feet or so, and then fire the water system up, and I'll clean all of this, get it washed down to the bottom so that water can drain out, and then I can shovel up the mud because that's really slippery. And then yeah, we should be good to go. We've gotten all of it to right there. We go down here, and I've just got a little bit over there to finish up. This is sort of one of the worst parts of the job, although jackhammering is impressive. And if I can get this done, that way when Dad comes up to help, we can do something that's worthwhile of his time. But I'll throw you on the stand for a bit, but I got snow coming, so you see what you see. I am beat. I am utterly destroyed. Even holding the camera up hurts. But look at this. Look at this. So the house will come down here. All of this will be exposed. This is what the walkway will go over the top of. There were no flat spots. It was very unpleasant and had to all be drugged down, and it's still pretty broken up and shattered. But that's fine. Now there's not dirt on it. This would be a whole lot harder if the house was actually built. This is, in my opinion, this is wonderful. Okay, I didn't get all that down there, but a fella's got his limits. So that's what I got done today. I don't expect I'll have any time to do anything tomorrow, but if I do, tomorrow will probably be dedicated towards cutting along that line. It'll be somewhat inefficient because cutting along that line is going to put an awful lot of grit back down in here, but I should just be able to sweep it on down with the hose and then sweep it up out of Lake Mead down there. I don't need much, and it doesn't have to be continuous, in my opinion. I just got the majority set down in. If I could continue this nice and deep, if I could put it through that spot that I've missed right there, that flat, and then go one step deeper in this main rise right through here in the middle, that'd be fantastic. I mean, getting it on the other end, on the other flat down below, that's not going to be hard. This would be the big uns. So get a lot more water up here. Nothing wrong with that. I haven't had any issues with the pump, though I'm sure it's straining pretty good. Oh, it's fantastic. That's what I wanted. That's what I want. It's beautiful, in my opinion, right? It's one of the great features of this whole place, in one man's opinion. This is what I love about this. And I got it. I'm going home, so if I come back tomorrow, this will just be a mere interlude. If I don't, then thanks for watching. And we're back. Train going by. And it's not tomorrow, it's several days later. But I decided there just really wasn't enough of that video anyways. What I'm here doing today is cutting. I'm hoping to cut a whole bunch so that, you know, Dad is supposed to come tomorrow, and it'd be nice to have a bunch of this ready, and who knows, maybe we can even experiment with how we're going to attach forms to the mountainside. I'm not going to lie, it took a little bit to get the water system running today, but it is up and running, and everything is currently above freezing, just barely. But the rocks are not above freezing, so the halo of spray solidifies into a glazed ice sheen, but it's way better than regular glazed ice because it's got clay in it. Well, ground up rock, right? So you take a surface that was already greasy and slippery, and now you've added this varsity level opponent to the mix, and it's doing it in rubber boots. It becomes quite the thing. So it's a fair likelihood you'll see me, at least in slow motion or fast motion, on my ass at least once. So I figure you got that going for you.
This old saw is one of my grandfather's. He was a plasterer. It's kind of a nameless brand, although it sounds just like an old McCullough when it's running. So I think it's pieced together from other equipment. It's a 12-inch saw. It's an awful lot heavier and bulkier than the modern versions, but I can't fault how it has worked.
Well, it's coming along nicely. I'm almost done with the cross hatching. I might need a fourth vertical slice in order to effectively break it up. And you know, I've only slipped a handful of times and gone down to my butt just the once, so I feel I'm already doing pretty good. Gonna have a bit of a drink and get back at this.
The back line is basically the edge of the wall, the upper edge, the outside edge of the wall. And I use a plumb bob off of that to make a mark in the very center. And I go 5 inches up and 15 inches down. So that'll end up giving us a 20-inch footer keyed into the rock like this. You know, keying it into the rock will guarantee that it can't kick out, it can't slide, in addition to all of the rebar that we're going to cement and drive into the bedrock. There's just no way this house can move. It's going to be attached to the earth forever. When doing my research on how to put this together, there were a lot of, you know, videos and write-ups on folks who were scribing their foundation into the bedrock, but nobody came close to the kind of angles and quantities of rock that we were dealing with, short of some European fellows, and they primarily did pier and post, which, you know, it's very different than what we're doing, so we kind of had to wing it.
It's getting chilly. The spray has started to freeze again. That little bit of sunlight we got wasn't enough to warm the bedrock. It's weird because it's actually above freezing right now, but the rocks themselves are cold, so they're turning everything into slush. But that's what I got done. That's got the double cut all the way across, and this has got the first cut right here as set by the plumb bob. I'm going to pick up and head on down, and then I better drain every ounce of water out of the system tonight.
I don't have any way to drain the standpipe on my well, and I was afraid that there was going to be a hard freeze that night. So I did the only thing I could think of and put the torch there to boil it off. There is a leaking foot valve at the bottom, but it's real slow. It'll be a couple of days to bring it back down below the level of the casing, and I was just concerned. This way, I knew I could go to bed and not worry to have to come back to split pipes and something else I have to fix.
Well, we moved inside. It is definitely now below freezing out there. So, you know, I got Dad coming tomorrow. I mean, I could do that jackhammering, but it's a very unpleasant task, and one of those, you know, backbreakers that I typically do by myself. He's bringing 3-rail chains for the dump truck. Though as long as it stays below freezing, the dump truck could move around without chains. But maybe move some dirt, maybe lay a little carpet back at the real homestead or the current homestead. Behind me is the other thing I managed to accomplish this morning. Look at that. This is for prom, so it'll have a box, probably cardboard. That'll fit right in here, and then there'll be the crowns with the little light. I'm not in charge of that, so I don't have to worry about it. But I put this thing together. It's you know, I don't know what it is. It's clearly designed to stand like this. It's clearly designed not to be seen from the back side. And I have no idea what would have been in the center of it. None whatsoever. I picked it up when I picked up that old military surplus shelving there. It was one of those things where if you want the one, you gotta take the other. Though I would have never turned them down. And this isn't even the impressive one. The impressive one is in the other room. So they're doing like a 1920s prom thing. And I always try to build something for prom. Where's the, oh, that's right, there's only a light switch on this side, and it's gonna be dim, especially when it's this cold. And so I've got this one as well, another neat 1920s Art Deco, well, late 20s, mid 30s Art Deco kind of thing. And then this random panel right here, and I had a top, like a bar top, but it didn't fit any of these things. But it had the same stacked molding. So this is actually a created molding where this piece and this piece are joined together. So it had the same molding, so they clearly went together, but I don't actually know what they are. Anyways, I'm letting it to prom. This will be the drinks table with the servers serving from behind it. I still have to do to it what I did to that one over there and add a back to it. And then the other one will be the entryway hall. And while as an educational institution we are not allowed to call it a speakeasy prom, the goal is for it to have a feel of an underground rebel dance, whatever. So anyways, obviously it's just pieced together with some junk plywood. This will all get a coat of flat black so that it vanishes, and then they've got tabletops and drapes that go over the top of it. But yeah, this will be the main front entryway kind of thing right there. I'm cold, I'm wet, I'm hungry, I'm going home. I'm going to stick this with the other video, and this is the real end this time, because I don't know, it's got to be getting pretty long. Unless it's not the end, in which case I will join you shortly with another message about why it's not the end. It's the end, though.
Thanks for watching.